Oakville will work off their bench. Setting up again with Boone. He'll work back to the center. Got all kinds of tied up. Has now a quick stick back working through. Jamison Steele shot in on net. Liam McLeod back for the Beaches across center. Troy accordingly asking for pressure to come up behind the ball carrier Ethan Fines. Fines will bring it back into the offensive zone. Setting up through the middle and a nice slide and a hit there by Reed Ozog. Part of that big trade with the St. Catharines Athletics in the offseason. Sent I believe it was 3 graduating players back down for the A's. Understand we had some technical difficulties, and you should be able to see and hear us now. It is 2-0 for the Oakville Buzz. 2 goals off 6 shots. Thomas Kizek in net for the Beaches. Zach Konstantopoulos back the other way for Oakville tonight here in their home opener at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Alan Corkum.
Yeah, you were saying about that trade. Jake Wright, Josh Ford, and Ryan Barker were the ones that went down to the A's from the Buzz in that trade. April 1st, April Fool's Day, but it was no fool for those teams.
John Logue. Oh, shot through traffic. Kizek coming out, I think looking for the loose ball. Ended up with a bit of a hit. And it's now Warnarski. We'll play it back through. Warnarski in towards the corner. Broughton's trailing the play. His bouncer, Konstantopoulos, makes the stop. It'll be Friday night. Orangeville's Konstantopoulos, Evan will face his younger brother Zach in the matchup between the Orangeville Northmen and the Oakville Buzz. Our crew up in Peterborough for Six Nations and Peterborough Lakers.
That'll be a good game as well. 2 longtime rivals that will probably have a bit of a nasty affair there, looking to rise up the standings in the OJLL.
Of course, that rivalry probably better known for its MSL counterpart, but you look back at the stats and they've gone to overtime the past 2 times they've met at the MEM Center. Owen Vivian, one of 2 high draft picks for the Beaches, along with this man right here. How about Caleb Tatarek? The lefty was the 3rd overall pick, if memory serves. Tries a high twist shot in on Konstantopoulos. Somehow didn't actually get through to reset the shot clock. And
it will now.
Maybe it did, and they just hadn't reset it off the rebound, but picked up and off to the races goes Ozog again. Really like the look of this young man's game.
He's actually right now got credit for that first goal, but I'm pretty sure, as the video doesn't lie, it was Simmons that scored for the Buzz. But yeah, he's having a great game. Lots of races up the floor with the ball.
Finn Morgan, the rookie.
Penalty coming up, delayed.
Circling the crease. I believe it came at the side of the net. And is it going to be Kalen Mander, who does have NLL experience as well? Going to jog past the bench of Riley O'Connor, and I think indeed the first penalty does go the way of the Beaches. Mark Thompson, Mark Sands, Simon D'Souza, the 3 officials. Keep your eye on the left side of your screen. Yeah,
we just saw we're in the play at a bit of a cross check. You talk about Mander. He came over from the Porco Quicklum Saints in the BC League, was in the Minto Cup last couple of seasons. Also, as you said, NLL experience. Originally drafted by Halifax, but played for the Calgary Roughnecks. So he had 1 assist, 11 loose balls, and a pair of blocks in his first season this year with the Roughnecks. And he has 1 point across 7 games for the Roughnecks. So it's good to see some experience along with his teammate Kizek, who's the goalie, he said, was Saskatchewan, who just lost a heartbreaker to Buffalo in the NLL Championship.
Charlie Boone working around the horn. Up top with Jamison Steele. Boone will go back to the left side, and Liam Luzza had one off of Kizek. That's kind of how the first goal was scored. A bouncer that went off his shoulder and straight up. And Kizek couldn't follow it back down and bounce behind him and in the back of the net.
Just seems a little bit out of sorts so far this game, causing. Maybe just needs a few more shots to get his rhythm, but he just seems a little bit all over the place right now. Some of the balls bouncing off him. That one rolled in behind us. Maybe just has to get a couple of big saves, maybe get his game going again.
Here's Sheldon Broughton across the far side to find Peyton Booth. 5 on the shot clock, and you can hear Troy Cordingley screaming to his defense. And, you know, we have seen that from goaltenders who are incredible here in this league, have that early season in the NLL and then struggle a little bit when they come back here for the first, you know, maybe even couple weeks or so. And I mentioned yesterday, as this power play continues with 45 seconds for Oakville, keeping it high with Charlie Boone and Luzza down. Kazik will collapse over top of that. I talked to Riley Hutchcraft a few years ago. Remember, he came out early and then had to come back to junior. He said it's not the stick, it's not the nets, nothing like that, just the speed. When you're the younger guy, you're taking a lot of shots, and it just takes a little bit to slow yourself back down after getting to the speed of the NLL pro game. So we'll see if that's the case for Kazik. Happened to Hutchcraft. Chris Origlieri, I think, was the big one when he first came back with Orangeville. And now we've got Evan Konstantopoulos and Thomas Kazik, 2 NLL goaltenders in the league this year.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit to get used to the different games. NLL has a little more veterans. There's players that don't maybe take as many shots, whereas these guys are a little more young and eager, want to just shoot the ball as much as they can. So probably take him a game or two to get back into the swing of things, and he'll get back to his game. Beaches will be fine.
Outside shot coming. It actually takes the stick out of the hands of the defender. That was Jamison Steele on the rip. Previous possession, we saw an Oakville player block a shot. Now Kalen Monder out of the penalty box as we go back 5-on-5. Cutting back towards the crease. Shed a first man, trying to do it again against William Simmons, excuse me.
He has some good dance moves there. He looks like he's been practicing.
5 on the shot clock, and you'll hear call for pressure again from the Buzz, and trying to dive through the crease, which you can sort of do in certain circumstances here in the OJLL if you're new to the league. Liam Aston there. Feet crossed through the plane of the crease, which in this league is a crease violation. From the outside. Jonah Bear. Shot off Kazik. Dylan Cordingley can only knock it down before it was stolen away by Kyle Friedman. Jack Winarski will slow it back down for the Beaches. We're still missing Hamish McPherson and Willem Firth played in the NCAA championship game. Firth, the victor out of the 2 teammates with Cornell Big Red.
And another OJL player that played in that Cornell team was Joey Spallina of the Orangeville Northmen. He was a part of the Cornell championship team as well.
9 minutes left to go. You can see Kazik taking a walk out of his crease. Trying to rally the troops here down.
I think that's maybe what he was doing, Matt. He's looking for that refreshment break. I think that's what he thought it was coming, and it finally does. So 9 minutes to go here in the first period.
I don't think this is his call for water. I think Riley O'Connor's taking time out here. And I think he was just as, I don't know if upset or animated is the word, as we're going to get another look at I believe this is the first goal. Yes, it is, for Oakville. Told you, Kazik made the save and then lost the rebound. That bounces back behind him.
Yeah, just a little bit out of position there. And
then the second one. Oops, sorry.
There's another chance to say anything. He didn't know where the ball was, but did go between his legs, but did go wide, luckily for him. And despite maybe some of the acrobatics so far of Kazik, it's only a 2-0 game, so they're within a couple of goals. We've seen teams come back from this here so far this season. OJL action. Brampton had a 4-goal lead against St. Catharines in the game. First game we covered of the season, I covered that in Brampton, and they came back and won in overtime. So 2-goal leads aren't safe in lacrosse. You know how the momentum is. You can get 3 or 4 goals just like that if you can play some strong defense.
The Buzz coming into tonight, 0-1. They lost 9-5 up in Peterborough earlier this week. 2 nights ago, actually. On opening night, we saw a 13-6 victory for the Beaches over St. Catharines. A 9-4 loss at home against Six Nations. And then Thomas Kazik in his first game back, 14-8 victory. And his team is on the board with an outside shot and a goal from Liam Aston.
Actually, it might have been number 88. Let's just have a look at this. It might have been Lubinecki. Let's just have a look and see who has the ball here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like you see the pass go over.
I think you're right, actually.
To Tarek over to Lubinecki, and he just fires one over the arm of Kozatopoulos to get the Beaches on the board, just down one. And we just said about this, a great timeout call by the Beaches staff, and it worked. They get a goal 9 seconds after the timeout to get back in the game.
Bit of a discussion before this face-off that Broughton's going to contest against Becker Lippert. Braden Foulon back to grab the loose ball after the draw. Still arguing over it as it comes back to the Oakville restraining line. And well, Oakville must have got possession because they were on the 8 count. Only have 8 seconds to get it across center. And did not do it in the allotted time. Liam Aston. Shot there. Konstantopoulos keeps it in his crease. Going to do some housekeeping and replace the net. Outlet pass. Foulon. Quickly down close to that Toronto net. Pulled back out by Charlie Boone now, waiting for help coming off the bench. Boone. In behind the net. Accordingly got the shot as it popped back out in front. That was out of the Toronto Rock playbook almost. A lot of teams using that behind the net play now. Wojnarski stopped in his tracks by rookie Finn Morgan. Ball's going to pop back Morgan's way, and coming in again if they hurry might be 2-on-1, and now everybody pulls back with reinforcements coming off that Beaches bench. Boone. Big battle going on in front in the slot area, and Cole Lewick too much is clean breakaway back down floor. Owen Vivian took off with the whistle, and Konstantopoulos made the stop. It's Ozog who brings it back in, took a couple big chops. One of those popped the ball free, but Bagmo there to recover it. Jamison Steele out to the outside, still 7 minutes left in the period. Ignore the horn you just heard from the rink in behind us.
And you hear a lot of those tonight, whistles and horns.
If you're new to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, second pad in behind us is the outside shot, gobbled up by Kazik. Liam McLeod. Kind of slowly bringing it up floor here.
So that timeout really worked for the Beaches, Matt. They seem to be a different team since getting that goal. They've been a lot more ferocious on the ball and getting some good shots as well.
Outside shot to Tarek. Hit the arm of the defender, who then headed down floor. Becker Leipert. Accordingly, going to roll it back to Owen Moore. Moore goes all the way across floor into the corner. Jamison Steele, top spot. Accordingly shot off the left leg of Kazik. Another one that kind of rolled away off the pad. And is now trailing the play is Broughton. All the way back to Hunter Lubinecki, who has the Beaches goal and a big hit in the corner. Going to be called for interference.
Yeah, but no penalty, just a turnover in possession for the Buzz. And yeah, but they're another turnover right now. Looks like if Beaches can pick it up.
Told you we'll see Six Nations in Peterborough on Friday, an 8 p.m. start. After a day off tomorrow, big pile up here looking for the loose ball at the restraining line. Beaches have finished their season series with Six Nations now. Back-to-back home and away as David Peterkin finally runs out with the ball. Aaron Eberhardt, the intended recipient of the pass back near center. It was tipped away by Oakville, so no over and back. Foulon took a hard hit and was slow getting up, and there may be a penalty on the play.
Yeah, hand is up, so goalie to the bench for the extra tiger for the Buzz, and they'll go back. They'll go to their second power play once the Beaches grab possession, unless the Buzz can put one in the back of the net.
Under 5 to play here in the first period. 10 to shoot for Oakville with this extra attacker. Jamison Steele into the quarter for Cordingley. Steele up top. Hard shot. That missed the mark, but not by much. And as the Beaches recover it, it will be an interference call on the hit just underneath our broadcast position.
Yeah, we'll see what number will be going. Looks like it'll be number 22. So David Peterkin will go to the box for 2 minutes or less, and Oakville will try to get one here in the power play to make it get their 2-goal lead back with 4.5 to go in the first period.
Buzz setting up their second power play of the game. Did not capitalize on the first. Steele going to take top spot, works it through Boone. And a little miscommunication there between him and Cody McNeil. Going to turn into a 3-man transition. Breakout for the Beaches. Shot there off the glove of Konstantopoulos. Bouncer back to the line. Liam Aston didn't handle it cleanly. And it's ball back to Oakville. I don't think Riley O'Connor too happy with that play.
And I think Troy Cordingley was, but he's a really spirited coach over there, giving his orders to his team, and he said that's why he's been successful in all levels of lacrosse here in many years coaching.
Charlie Boone down towards the corner. Steele over the top. John Logue just missed it. Need a shot late in the shot clock. It does come from Steele, but straight down Main Street, and Kazik there to see it, and he's going to bomb it down floor. Not sure if he was looking for Liam Aston or just trying to ice it, but either way, Konstantopoulos quickly gets it back up into the attacking zone for this Oakville power play, which has 30 seconds left in it.
I thought he was just trying to play catch with his fellow netminder.
Under 3 to play in the period. Steele. And Boone have it up top. Steele will go set the screen. Cross floor. Luzza didn't look like he was ready for that pass, but then does get a shot right at the tail end of the clock. Kazik again takes a walk to the top of the fan, but no comment that time as the ball's passed away. Back here to Bagnall. He gets tripped up by Kazik. And it'll be Buzz possession. Although still, well, now help is coming off the Oakville bench, but only one attacker down there. Here's Cordingley. Cross floor. Cordingley sets the screen, opening it up. Big collision in front of the crease. Kazik with contact on Boone, the shooter. As we hit the 2-minute warning here, Liam McLeod bringing it back in.
It's like he accidentally on purpose fell on Boone in the crease.
Broughton waiting for a change. I think Troy Cordingley might want pressure on the ball here. I'm not sure. Under 5. As the ball carrier is going to spin back to Tarek. Eventually did find room, but
shot clock violation.
Late in the shot clock, Oakville doubling the ball. And he told us one of 3 things he wants from this team, especially here tonight, but all season. The first one was hard work, along with discipline. Should have done pretty good in both areas there in this first period. A bouncer from Steele wide of the mark. Running after it. Logue was taken down. No call as Peterkin all the way into the crease, and Konstantopoulos turns it away.
But as Cordingley also told us, Matty, they had a great 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes were great in Peterborough the other night, but then the last 30 minutes, he said they probably could have been a little bit better to compete level, so he hopes for a full 60 here tonight. So far, so good, though. A good 20 so far for the Buzz.
That was Carter Drynan leaving it back here for the offensive unit. Owen Moore circling the crease here. Back to Cordingley. The shot gets through Kazik. Cordingley's second of the game. And the Buzz are up 3-1.
I guess another one that Kazik would like to have back. See here, they work the ball down low to Dylan Cordingley. He'll take the pass here, and then he just puts the nifty wrister on goal, and it somehow finds a crack in Kazik's armor, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Buzz with just 38 seconds to go. In period one, yeah, great first period for the home side.
Clean face-off win by Leipert. All the way back, Simmons, who has one of the three goals. The other two scored by Dylan Cordingley. Charlie Boone, still time with 20 seconds left to go here. About 5-second difference, game clock, shot clock. Up top for Steele. He'll go one-on-one with the high defender, a bouncer that Kazik keeps in front of him. 10 left to go. Still need to get it over center in the allotted 8 seconds. And Jack Wojnarski will do that in time. Going to expire before the Beaches can send one through. A bit of a conversation over between the two benches, but nothing more than that after the first period.
Yeah, just a great period for the home side right now. 3-1, only allowing 1 goal against, but 3-4, yeah. So a good period for this young Buzz squad. Can they keep the momentum going for the next 40 minutes? That's going to be the question, Matt.
It will. We remind you, our next broadcast is Friday, an 8 p.m. start time, Six Nations and Peterborough Junior Lakers. It's going to be a battle of the Constantopoulos brothers here at the track, as Zach and Evan will do battle. Orangeville and Oakville also on Friday, 8 p.m. start time there. The only way to see that one is to do it in person. Be sure to download the OJLL app for the entire schedule and subscribe to the YouTube channel to follow us all the way throughout the season. A 3-1 lead for the Oakville Buzz after the first period. You're watching yet another OJLL Game of the Week.
No helmets, no masks, inferior equipment, wooden stick, no room for a coward.
When Zosky and Wayne Goss, they used to go out when we had to kill a penalty, and they rang the ball for 2 minutes. No, you couldn't get the ball off them. And then after 2 minutes, they go down and score.
And kids would walk around with a lacrosse stick then, the way they walk around with a cell phone today.
So we had two of the best, probably the best, Wayne, best centermen in Canada on our team.
So we won in 85, we won in 86, and in 87 we could have won again. Like nobody was going to come close to us in the Senior B.
The thing with Vancouver was in those days they were the roughest, meanest, nastiest team around. And they would do things that, you know, they'd be thrown in jail for if they did them today.
And I agreed because I figured it wouldn't take too much time. Of course, coaching doesn't take a lot of time, right?
We had no superstars in our days. There was superstars in the league like Jack Bionda and Bobby Allen, and you know, you can name a lot of the Easterner players. But in the West, there were really no spectacular players like that. They were basically just hard, sound, basic lacrosse players.
I played goalie, so they call me Seymour Shots. I didn't duck. I never ducked. I got it, bang, you know. So it's just like getting punched in the jaw.
When the Salmon Bellies went into somewhere, people just, you know, the hate was palpable, and it fueled the game.
We had about 12 legitimate Junior A players in Manitoba, our whole league, because we had a Manitoba Junior Senior League at the time. So we had to pick up 3 or 4 juveniles to play.
Bobby Allen was the best all-around player I've ever seen. He was just a total lacrosse player.
The idea of getting to go to Victoria, they had Jim Veltman, they had John Tavares, Caleb Toth, like it was a pretty stacked team. And I thought, well, I got a chance maybe of winning a Mann Cup here. So I jumped at that chance.
And not only did they not expect us to actually start the brawl, we finished it. And it just changed the whole complexion of the game.
Gaylord came one Saturday. It was like a celebrity was in town. Every kid was there getting their shirts signed, their sticks signed, and balls signed, and he was showing them little tricks. And
they suspended us all for 5 years, the whole team, which they did it too fast. First, they should have thought a little bit longer about it.
If you could get a team that felt they were a team rather than a bunch of individuals, then they knew how to win.
We had a girls' box lacrosse team in Mimico before girls ever played box. We had a little house league team.
I was pretty fortunate to be able to win a Man Cup, Minnow Cup, and World Championship and a Pro League Championship.
Well, one year, 1949, I went to Peterborough. I played for their first senior A team.
With guys like Doug McCrory and Cliff Sepka and Les Norman and Ken Audie. Well, they were all on that team when we went up. So it was really fun playing with guys that you watched for 10 years.
And I said, oh, I'd just like to help out. So they made me the equipment manager. Well, before the year was out, I was running the team.
One young person from Brampton his name was Donnie Arthurs, and he played the center. No one ever got the ball off him.
So I always tried cross-checking on the hips, and so guys would crumple if they got hit on the hips because their arms are up like that, and that was one thing. But that's illegal now.
And a lot of people would think, not very classy to do it, but I went, it wasn't, but they were doing other stuff that was dirtier than what we were doing. We were just ready to take it head on and say, let's end it.
All hell broke loose for an hour and 15 minutes, and I was up in the press box up top, and within very short time there was a lot of police. There was stuff going on in the stands between Peterborough and Brooklyn. I had never seen anything like it. It was just a full-out brawl.
Two people in a game that have the greatest ability to determine the outcome of the game. That's the goalie at either end.
And a lot of the guys wanted to check me, so because they wanted to say, well, we stopped Parnell tonight, he's not scoring on us.
I couldn't play for me. I was a ball control freak as a coach. I hated turnovers. As a player, I was freewheeler.
Being a New West kid, obviously Wayne Goss was your favorite player.
I wanted the ball, so the best way I could is to win the draw,
It was Goss's 87th Man Cup point, which moved him ahead of Parnell.
I had Bobby Orr come out and try out for my club. And if he hadn't been so involved in hockey, I'd have got him playing lacrosse.
I saw an ad in the newspaper, new junior A team looking for lacrosse players. So I answered the ad, and that was the fateful day that I met Mr. Jim Bishop.
Getting the tar whacked out of you in a Man Cup series is not fun.
As far as I'm concerned, Ray Benning was the second Jack Bionda, skill-wise.
If I could come in a 3-on-2 and I had a guy here and a guy there, and I could fake at that guy to draw the back fin and then throw it behind my back to that guy. It was like switching hands.
Actually, I was playing junior and senior at the same time, just a backup in senior to the great Bill Whitaker.
Beyond he was a great offensive player, but he said, I tried checking once and I didn't like it, So that was the way he was.
Like when I first started playing, we didn't even wear helmets. And then we got to wearing helmets and never wear masks and stuff like that. And so it advanced to the point now where the entire head is covered and stuff like that. Yeah.
Smooth as butter. Anybody pick this up, throw the ball right to the target immediately. You don't have to practice with this. This is a magic stick.
That's why a lot of guys couldn't play this game very well, because they didn't look after their sticks.
To the chagrin of a lot of coaches, I learned how to do an Indian pickup really, really quickly, and I used to do that when I was running home.
And I set my goals is to change the game so it could be a fast break game, not just a brutal beat each other up game.
I'm 5 feet and I played goal. But there's no one in Brampton had more black eyes than me, because they're all trying to put the ball over my shoulder.
Personally, I think the game has progressed as far as players and on a pretty even keel, and pretty well everything that has been done for a good purpose.
A good start for the Oakville Buzz here against the Beaches. Here's how they got themselves up 3-1, Alan.
Yeah, here's the first goal with Dylan Cordley with the shot that found a way, bounced off of Kajik and in to make it 1-0 for the Buzz. And then it's William Simmons with taking the home run pass. It puts one up and over the shoulder of Kajik to make it 2-0. And then finally there'll be one getting back for the Beaches, Hunter Lubinecki. He'll take the cross-court feed and rifle one home past Zach Kozatopoulos to make it a 1-goal game. But then late in the first period, it's Cordley again. He'll wait for the pass. As you can see on your screen, takes it, and he'll just whip a wrister that beats Kajik again. Probably 2 of those 3 goals Kajik would love to have back. So a great period for the home side, up 3-1 after 1. And he said, Troy Cordley, we talked to him before the game, the head coach of Oakville. He said they had played a good 30 minutes at Peterborough. He wants a full 60 tonight. If they can carry this momentum on for the rest of the way, they're in good shape. But you know how good the Beaches are, even without Willem Firth. So we'll see what happens.
Already with 2 wins on the season without Willem Firth, as you said. One of those by Kajik in his return, a 14-8 victory in Six Nations after dropping their home opener 9-4. That gives them the tiebreaker over Six Nations after they finish the season series. Asked Riley O'Connor, it's kind of weird that you're talking about finishing season series and tiebreakers and stuff like that already, like before we hit the month of June, but such is the schedule.
And you know, the trade deadline, Matt, the teams look a lot different if they meet again in the playoffs.
Down right on Kajik again, quickly, Charlie Boone. That one bounced off his shoulder as Boone was a little tight to the netminder.
Yeah, Boone had 2 goals and 2 assists for the the Buzz in that loss against Peterborough Monday night. So he was their offensive weapon. He hasn't got on the board yet tonight. See if he can get it here in a second.
I think that's your first toonie in the jar tonight.
There we go. It's a B. At least it was B. It was close. That's my hockey coming. Well, you know, we both do hockey in the winter, Matt, and we do lacrosse in the summer. So there we go.
Ball down here, picked up again by Lubinecki. 3 of the 4 goals tonight, by the way, from players wearing number 88, which isn't all that popular a number in the sport of lacrosse, as Ozog came over the timeline and met with a hit from Peyton Booth. Another quick shot and rebound ends up hitting referee Simon D'Souza. That was Luza's shot.
Good break there for the Buzz.
Back into the corner again. Luza far side with a man on him. Falling was Boone. Kajik tried to launch it all the way down floor, and she took the defender's stick with him. It bounces straight to Matthew Kirchmeyer.
Yes, one characteristic turnovers here in the game so far for the Beaches. They want to try to clean this up. They want to get back into this one.
As we said off the top, this is a team in the Beaches as Kajik takes another hard shot. They've got championship aspirations, not just here in Ontario. With the number of senior players they have, they should be active when we get closer to that trade deadline. Meanwhile, on the Oakville side, they were active at last year's deadline. Very much a younger squad that are building for probably a couple seasons from now, as we see other teams like maybe Six Nations or Brampton already in that mode.
Another team is Kitchener-Waterloo. They've really revamped this year. They believe they're at 1-1 so far, but they've revamped. And just a quick update, Peterborough St. Catharines are playing as well tonight. It's a 4-all tie after 1 in that game.
St. Catharines and Six Nations both with 3 wins on the season. Beaches trying to join them with an outside shot from Tatarek. Of course, a chance that the Athletics could stand alone by the end of the evening. The first team to 4 wins, perhaps, as they face Peterborough, who's played a lot of lacrosse here in the last week and a half.
Yeah, big win against Oakville on Monday night in the Buzz's first game of the season.
Cody McNeil, 9-5 to score in that one, and they're going to call a moving screen against Cordingley as ball kicked all the way back to center. Beach's bench wants a delay a game call, and
I think they have a case.
Yeah, I was going to say may have had one. no question in the NLL. 2 National Lacrosse League officials down on the floor tonight in D'Souza and Thompson. Back to Ethan Fines. Ball down after his shot hit a defender. Late in the shot clock, he collides with Bagnall. Meanwhile, ball down in Beach's end.
Yeah, I can see just some great work there. There's a lot of players getting tied up so far here in this turf at the track, but so far it's still a Buzz 2-goal lead.
Still think Ted Reeve is a twist shot there from Jamison Steele will be the 4th goal of the game for the Buzz.
The man of steel, he's a former Halton Hills Bulldogs. I got to call some of his action when he was in junior B, and here's the goal for him with the Buzz. And you can see on the replay here, they'll take the feed from Luzza, and he'll go in, and he finds some room over the shoulder of Kaisik. I think it might have hit off him again into the back of that. So another uncharacteristic goal for the NLL veteran, but it's a 3-goal Oakville lead, so great start for this young Buzz squad tonight.
Point I was making, I believe Ted Reeve is still non-carpet. They did have a blue one for a couple of seasons, but I believe since the renovations they've gone back to concrete floor. One of very few rinks that are left with that style as there's now turf down in Whitby.
Well, it's funny, the Whitby turf has the old New York Riptide logo on it.
So we were there last week. You can check that game out in the archives. As Lubinecki comes in again, quick stick to Peyton Booth on the crease.
What work there by Lubinecki to make that goal happen, getting the feed over to, it was with Peyton Booth, and he finished it off. We'll have a look at it on the replay. Lubinecki gets an assist to go along with his goal, and you can see all the work done as he fights off the defense, comes up into the slot, passes way over to Peyton Booth, all left all alone at the corner of the net, and he makes no mistake. That's his 9th goal of the season for Booth. He's been on fire to start the season, and the Beach is back within it. 2-goal game now.
One that the Buzz definitely aren't going to be happy with when they watch it back. 2 players open on the backside on the crease. That could have gone either way to Liam Aston or Peyton Booth. And it is the American that picks it up. Ball bouncing back in the Beach's end. Friedman lifting it all the way back near the face-off circle, and I know it's been Oakville's game pretty much the entire way, but Beach is back within 2. Seems a lot closer than it once was. Aston, shot there. That rebound will bounce high off the glass. Thought it may have been coming our direction, but Matthew Kirchmeier slows it down in the confines of the playing area. Courting lead to Morgan. Swim move. Got some help there from Jonah Deere. Back in front. Hard check. And yeah, they're going to wave it off in the crease. Saw this last night.
Wow. And I don't think Corey likes it too much.
After the hit, the body left down in the crease, and that is the correct call on first look by official Mark Sands, despite the protest from Troy Cordingley.
Oh, tough turnover there, right into the paddle. Here come the Beaches again on transition.
Bagnall trying to push it, and as you said, cleanly intercepted by Owen Vivian, who's headed to the crease and gets knocked out of midair. Rebound still picked up in an extra shove after the ball rolled into Konstantopoulos. Another good offensive shift for Friedman.
He's had a few looks tonight, just hasn't had a clean shot yet.
Owen Moore from the outside waits for a screen in front. Not waiting for a screen there was Morgan. Shot through a couple defenders, now has only 5 to get one on net, and does from long range, but everybody else had already headed for the bench.
Yeah, may as well just try something. He had to get it before the shot expired, and he gets a shot. And sometimes the way Kai's been playing the ball tonight, why not? You never know what could happen.
Wojnarski heading off after giving to Broughton to the far side. To Tarek. Skimmed it off the crossbar and up out of play. It will remain Beach's ball. finds a 2007 born player back to Lubinecki. Booth, nice quick release, turned and fired from the wrong side. Lubinecki trying for his second in the 5-hole of Constantopoulos. The stick was there though.
Yeah, they're peppering Constantopoulos now with some shots. Already 18 against him tonight. He had 54 saves in the loss against Peterborough on Monday night. So he's been a workhorse in a couple of games for the Buzz.
It is 18, but only 4 here in the period so far. The opening 7.5 minutes, spinning and firing Steele again. Meanwhile, Kazik facing his 24th already. Give him 8 in the period.
Yeah, he's been busy as well, and they're getting in his face a lot. I don't know if they're expecting him to maybe snap.
Look out. Coming up to try and throw the hit, and it's going to burn Kazik as Morgan gave him a shot on the first try. And Morgan gets the last laugh as it's in the back of the net.
As I said, sometimes if you're too aggressive, it can burn you, and it did there for Kazik, and the Buzz make him pay, and you'll see on the replay, he comes out the challenge, goes for the hit.
Well, he wanted revenge there for Morgan stepping up.
Yeah, here it is. Morgan takes the feed, tries to get the hit, but he says, nope, I'm going to put one by you instead. That's my revenge. It's 5-2 Oakville.
And the finger waggle at the end as well. 5-2 and a 3-goal lead for the Buzz.
Yeah, he better watch next time he gets near the crease for that.
Kazik has had a bunch to say tonight as that hits off the junction by McNeil.
Yeah, that beat Kazik, but not the iron.
Curve back again. This one's going to roll all the way back past the restraining line. Looking for a call back behind us. Not coming. McLeod flips it back, and a nice save from Constantopoulos, excuse me. Peterkin in transition.
He's wanting to get off the floor, and he finally feeds it now. The offense on for the Beaches, trying to get one back here with 8.5 gone in the second.
Lubinecki in to set the screen for the ball carrier Booth. All the way across floor, far side, Ryan Bullock. He got it in on net. Constantopoulos trying to recover it. Tatarek got there first, though, and all of this on the Beaches clock. It'll be tipped back over center. Who's going to get there first this time? Jack Warnarski. Because it was tipped, no over and back.
Big scrum for the ball down there. Let's see. It's like it's going to be Oakville possession.
Yeah, hard to see from our position exactly.
Oh, back up the Beaches, sorry. My apologies.
What was going on in that rugby scrum, but as you say, it does go back Beaches' way. Warnarski really taking exception to something Bagnall must have done in that pile. As Tatarek rips a shot from the outside. Carter Trinan with the rebound. Up to center, it's Morgan. Pardon me, that was Simmons. Working it through the far side. Last change brings Cordingley onto the floor. Cutting back Boone with only 6 to shoot. Tried to lift one quickly in. Climbing the ladder to bring it down was Luzza and did beat the shot clock.
Luzza really getting in the face of the Beach defender there. I think it might be a penalty as well. Yep, so he was a little too aggressive. I believe it was called a slash. Let's see what the call is. You'll see it on the replay here. Yeah, slashing is the call.
My goodness. The swipe before that, I think, is what's got the Oakville bench so upset, asking why there was no high stick. But for the first time tonight, the Buzz will go to the penalty box.
They have been listening pretty good for the first half of the game to Troy Corley. He wanted some discipline. It's their first penalty of the game at the halfway point of the game.
Booth, quick stick, and goodness, Lubinecki was celebrating the goal. I don't know if that hit iron or the stick of Constantopoulos before going up and out of play, but a near goal for the Beaches early on in the power play is diving for it is Bagnall.
Now you'll get a little bit of a horsey ride there, number 15 of the Beaches, Friedman.
And again, you said You know, the head coach of Oakville, Troy Cordingley, said his team played a good 30 minutes. We've just passed that mark when the first penalty is taken, and a 3-goal deficit here. It's a Tarek shot. Hits a body, goes up out of play.
You know, the Beaches can strike quick, so they probably need a couple more than a 3-goal lead if they want to bring this home.
Liam Aston up top, rips it through traffic off the right arm of Konstantopoulos. Aston again. Keeping it high, looking for that quick stick and realizing it the entire way. Making the clean interception was Drynan. Will quickly push to Foulon, who gets the stop command from the bench with 40 seconds left in the minor penalty to Oakville.
The best way to kill the penalty is just control the ball and then maybe get a shot out with about 1 or 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
8.5 remaining in this second period. 5-2 Oakville, shooting through a pair of defenders was Cody McNeil. And Kaiser hangs on to that one. Just 15 left to go here for the Beaches on the man advantage. It's Aston through Ryan Bullock. Now on the left side of the set. Lubinecki skips past Konstantopoulos. Saved at the line and played back. Shot clock will sound. We'll return to 5-on-5 strength. And that's really where you can see the big hole that Willem Firth will fill in the next maybe week or so.
Yeah, they'll welcome him back with open arms for sure. They do have some great players, but he'll bring that veteran presence to the Beaches.
On the crease, working around Bagnall after bringing the errant ball down. Kaisick trying to send it out long to Owen Tasse. Tasse will chase back towards the corner. Drynan faked the pass, and then once he gave it to Simmons, it was off his stick and then his foot. Simmons eludes his defender. On the boards to McNeil. Cutting through was Liza. And Kaisick made the save and quickly got it down to Peterkin. One-on-one, beats his man, comes through. Actually makes contact with Konstantopoulos. And now it's Ozog. Tasked with bringing it into the Beaches' end. Owen Moore slowing things down. 10 on the shot clock already for Oakville. Outside for Jonah Kerr. Got collided with there. Sidearm shot from Steele. Found its way through to Kaisick. Rebound all the way back to center. Defender's stick goes flying back into
There's been a few of those for the Beaches losing their stick.
Offensive end. And off a couple posts, but it stays out somehow behind Kaisick.
That was a defender right there that helped it out. I think it was 23. I think it was Eberhard. Yeah, good job there. He saw it on the line. He held the paddle and bailed out his goalie there. Great job of the defender.
Bouncer back the other way. Skipped off Konstantopoulos. Must have been a defender. Shot clock continues to tick down. That one will hit the netminder and reset the shot clock. Money possession here for Lubinecki, though. Bullock off the bench. No shot. He'll send it hard. Back here to Booth. Into the corner. Penalty coming. It was to Tarek. And his man collided. Back to Lubinecki. He'll bring it down. Konstantopoulos to save. And the slashing call coming up to Oakville. So back-to-back penalties. Now against the Buzz with 5.5 to go, and Oakville leading 5-2.
And the goalies will now get a refreshment break as well. Timeout on the floor, and we'll take a look at that latest sequence to see where the penalty happened. Yeah, right there, it's number 15. Finn Morgan going to go off for the slash down low, and seemed like the last power play, Beaches were really working the ball around well, got some good chances in the first minute or so, but in the last minute, not so much. See there, Konstantopoulos falling on his keister there. And
this will be the no goal. Follow the bouncing ball here.
Yeah, man. Watch Eberhard, 23, down low. He gets the paddle down and helps out his goaltender. He's a St. Bonaventure player. He's from Amherst, New York, and So American muscle there to keep that one out. So that's why you bring him up. A player like that, he's a strong defender and did his job there, bailing out his goalie and keeping it a 3-goal game. And now the Beaches get a power play. Important one here in the second. They can get back within 2.
That was Simon D'Souza making the great call.
Just waiting here for Kostopoulos to get back in his net. When he's ready to go, we'll get the ball. Here we go. Power play Beaches. See what they can do.
Outside bounce shot. Liam Aston. Hit down there towards the corner. Buzz half-hearted ask for a penalty. Realizing they're getting the ball, it'll go here to Cordingley. Bouncing just inside the line. Near side, Liza. And outside, Isaac's going to hang on to that. Under 5 to go in the period. Minute 15 left. And this the second Beaches power play of the last few minutes. Aston taking top spot as he's done the entire time to Booth to Tarek. Tried to guide that one in and actually sent it into the midsection of Konstantopoulos. In transition, Simmons finds a man off the bench. And what a shot there. It actually falls Isaac backwards into his net from Charlie Boone. A good chance in transition. The one thing it didn't do was take time off the penalty clock.
They've been doing a good job of eating it up right now, but still have possession here. You have 13 on the shot clock. See if they can get one here.
Peyton Booth to Tarek. Back to Booth. He shoots. And Konstantopoulos juggled it there a little bit against the left leg pad, but the important part kept it out past the line. Bagnall. Down the boards, McNeil. Only 12 seconds remaining, basically the exact same time on the shot clock as there are in the penalty here, so the Buzz can completely kill this one off if they so desire. Penalty has now expired, as the shot clock does as well, and we return to 5-on-5 lacrosse with 3.5 to go.
Yeah, Beaches now 0 for 2 on the power play. Some good work by the young penalty killers of the Buzz to keep them off the board. It's a 3-goal game late in the second, but the Beaches have possession again.
Ethan finds far side. Broughton looking to set a couple of screens. Lubinecki with it. Broughton turns and heads towards the crease. Got a good shot away. Nifty little swim move from the Oakville defender before passing to Eddie Faraday. Buzz slowing things down. Outside Kerr. Big high step before sending it back in. Accordingly picked it up on the crease. His shot ends up stuck on the back of the net.
Buzz are going to be awarding possession again. And you see his shots now pretty well even, Matt. 32-31 in favor of the Buzz.
Back in called there against Beaches, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Shot clock count's going to be on the floor and not going to matter as Liam Liza walks through.
Yeah, Luz has been all over the floor tonight. He's finally rewarded with a goal here, and it's a 6-2 Oakville lead, 2.5 to go in the second. They've been buzzing. That's for sure, living up to their name. And you can see here, take the feed from James Steele, and Luzza will go in and beats Isaac with a nice shot. And it's 6-2, and you'd say they played at least a good 37.5 minutes so far here tonight to have the Oakville Buzz.
Broughton controlling the face-off. Cross-floor pass off the head of the stick of the defender. There's a Buzz player with half the floor to himself, and Konstantopoulos couldn't corral it enough or with enough time to get it down to Bagnall. Couple dance moves from Morgan. On the crease, another shot from McNeil. He's had chances here tonight.
Penalty coming up.
Cross-check penalty coming to Beaches, it looks like. And is it Friedman?
Yep, so another power play coming to Oakville here to try to maybe get another one here late in the second period.
It'll be their third of the game, 0 for 2 coming in. There is one other game going on tonight in the OJLL. A 5-4 lead for the Peterborough Lakers down in St. Catharines against the Athletics. Up top, Jamison Steele, credited with that last goal. That was definitely scored by Loza. Up top, Steele has it again, shot off the foot of a falling defender, drops down in play off the dasher, and into the stick of the Beaches.
Peterkin with that nice block down low. And he gets the ball now for the Beaches shorthanded.
Mander with the run in. Peterkin playing it down the boards. A collision there. Takes it away from Booth. Foulon has it in his stick. Bagnon will flip it back to Steele. Closing in on 1 minute left to go here in period number 2. Buzz have continued to stretch the lead. Steele sets the screen after passing, and another stick that blows out of the hands of a Beaches defender. Charlie Boone couldn't handle the return pass, as now it's played back. Yet again, Peterkin in transition and carried back into the crease by Finn Morgan. 40 seconds to go in the power play, 34 in the period. Remember, Oakville still has 2 timeouts left. As Lubinecki puts it down the boards. An off-balance shot from Bullock. Goes off Constantopoulos, and with the ball coming into the stick of the Buzz, they will indeed take their first timeout.
Yeah, they'll try to carry it for last possession of the period. And so far, both periods have been a mirror image of each other, Matt. Oakville has outscored the Beaches 3-1 in each of the periods so far. It was 3-1 after one. Now it's 6-2. Take a look. Some recent action. This is his last chance here. That's the last goal. It just squeaked it. That was the one that they waved off. They thought originally it was called, but then it was waved off as he kind of fell into the crease. I'm surprised they probably could have counted. He said sometimes there's some leeway they're allowed with the crease. There's that nice goal with the Beaches.
That's the one on second look, may have hit off the knee of Constantopoulos. I wasn't sure how it stayed out on that most recent power play.
Wide open. I don't know how.
And now this.
That was a great chance there that Eberhard came in and saved the day, saved with a bell there as he backed up his goalie, Kaisick, and saves Bacon for that one to keep it, at that time, a 3-goal game. Now it's a 4-goal lead, and Oakville's going to carry for last possession here to maybe make it a 5-goal lead before the end of the second, but it's been a great job here by this young Buzz squad here tonight. A retooling team.
I know guys that try that for about like a half hour after practice, hit both posts before getting it in. And that's how rare that look was. And still didn't go in. Empty net here for the Buzz as they'll set up for last shot. Going to be a 6-on-4 power play set. Looking back for Cordingley, in and out of his stick, turns and couldn't get the shot away as Liam McLeod was right in his face, and maybe a good thing because Kaisick was starting to wander out of that crease one more time.
Yeah, they just need to take a deep breath and regroup here in the locker room after the second period. Another 3-1 period for Oakville as they outscored the Beaches in both periods 3-1. They have a 6-2 lead after 40 minutes. Their penalty kill has been strong. And they've really held the Beaches in check. Beaches have looked a little bit out of sorts for 40 minutes. Just 2 goals so far. A bit of a surprise after those great games against Six Nations.
I was going to say the same thing. The Buzz perhaps 20 minutes away from shocking the world here at the track in their home opener. They lead 6-2. We'll take another timeout. You're watching the OJLL Game of the Week.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
6-2 lead for the Oakville Buzz after 2 periods. Another 3 in this one. And here's what they looked like, Alan. First, Jamison Steele.
Yep, got a nice pass there from Liam Luzza, and he puts it home. That made it 4-1, but then the Beaches get one back. All the work done here by number 88, Hunter Lubinecki. He gets down low, and he had 2 men open, but he feeds Peyton Booth, who puts it home. Made no mistake past Constantopoulos to make it a 4-2 game. Then a couple more goals by the upstart Buzz. You see this one, it's Finn Morgan. Cousins out to challenge, takes a gamble, doesn't pay off, and Finn Morgan makes him pay to make it 5-2. And then there's the other worker horse tonight for the Buzz, but number 14, Liam Luzza. And finally, he hits a goal. He had a couple of assists and gets one here as he fires one past Cousins to make it 6-2, and that's where we sit. Still 6 seconds left in a penalty against the Beaches, but nothing will happen there. But yeah, just been a great game so far. The first 40 minutes for the Buzz. Can they carry it over this third period? Let's see.
6 goals from 5 different players. Both teams had 17 shots in that second period. 6 off 33 for Oakville and 2 off 31 for the Beaches through 2 periods. Broughton from way outside, and you can see and hear and almost feel the energy coming off that Oakville bench. A lot of cheering, a lot of stick tapping on the first possession in this opening 30 seconds for the Buzz, as they may feel like they're on the verge of something special here.
Well, just some swarming D by the Buzz here on Beaches. Beaches can't get anything going. They just have to shoot it wide.
John Logue got it to Cordingley, who got the first shot in there on Kazik. Cordingley recovers the rebound, and second set here for the offense. McNeil back to Cordingley. Screen set in through the middle. It'll go to Logue again. Passing through, looking for Cordingley. That hit the back of a defender instead, and now it's transition coming out for the Beaches. Off the bench. Hit there by Foulon caused Warnarski's shot to go wide. Back in front, and split save made by Constantopoulos.
Yeah, another great chance there for the Beaches coming here. It was Kalen Mander, but he couldn't put it by Constantopoulos. He's been really sharp tonight with 31 saves. He had 54 in the loss against Peterborough Monday. He's already up to 31 tonight. Keeping them in it for sure. Big lead.
Kerr to Moore. Off the bench, the shot comes. McNeil, another one that Kazik didn't really look all that comfortable making.
He's going to have to be more comfortable. He's going to have to be airtight now if the Beaches want to get back into this game. They're down 4.
Cole Smith down to Tatarek. Lubinecki cutting through. It's the outside shot from Aston that skips off the arm of Constantopoulos. Bullock with the money possession here for the Beaches. Spinning shot, Ethan Fines gets one through, although the Buzz will pick up the rebound. Trying to head back for center, and falling while doing so was Morgan. Arm of the official is high, and Morgan taken down illegally is going to be the call.
Cross check.
Be power play number 4 coming up to Oakville.
It's going to be number 17, Ethan Fines going off. Wasn't fine on that play. And now let's see if Oakville can finally get one on the power play to maybe make this a little bit unreachable for the Beaches here. You can look on your screen. He gets this, gets the paddle up a little high towards the head region of Morgan, brings him down. So tough break for the Beaches. Let's see what Oakville can do here in the power play.
Yet to score here tonight on 3 previous opportunities. It'll be Steele, that'll quarterback it. Boone through Cordingley. Now playing it back again, Loza. Chasing it down, McNeil. Has Loza up top. Steele will come and take his quarterback position. Shoots straight down Main Street. A low shot that Kazik saw. Was looking for transition, but Owen Tasse turned hard left, and he goes off for a change. High stepping Broughton over the restraining line. One-on-one right now. Broughton gonna walk across the line. Eventually playing it to the outside boards, cutting through to Tarek. Ran through the crease after shooting, so that opened up the Buzz to pick up the loose ball. Peterkin sensed he could have got an over and back with a big hit, but he's back in position now in the back half of this power play. Steele playing catch here with Boone. Cycle is on now as that one goes up and hits the mask of Kazik. Official's going to check on the goaltender, says he's all good. Meanwhile, back the other way, Lubinecki misplayed a loose ball, went for the hit on Bagnall. Constantopoulos out there trying to get it back in the big goalie stick.
Yeah, Lubinecki, I think he had a stick held there, but the Oakville defender was looking for a call there, didn't get one.
Carter Drynan clears center despite being pressured by a number of Beaches players. Some high pressure here. Trying that half-court press, looking for an over and back, and now things will settle in as it's still a Buzz power play for another couple seconds. That one off the pipe to the right of Kazik.
Kenny was looking around, Matt. He was spinning around, seeing where the ball was. Luckily, it didn't go in the back of the net.
That was Owen Moore, as now gets settled down as we return to 5-on-5 with 4.5 gone in the period. Down to the crease, steal, fake low, went high. And Kazik stood back up to take that one off the shoulder.
And one of his better saves here recently. A nice shoulder save to keep it a 4-goal game.
Jack Winarski, Liam Aston out to the half boards. He'll get double teamed here. Aston able to work it free, but into the stick of the Buzz. Kirchmeier playing it back up top. Cody McNeil for Cordingley. He'll wait for the last man off the bench. Owen Moore back across to the left side. Owen Moore returning for Cordingley through traffic. Bouncer in front. Rebound picked up, and diving through the front of the crease area was Moore. Couldn't get it on net.
A great chance there, but he just fired it high and wide, did Moore. And it was like 8-second rule. He didn't get over in time to Lubinecki, so a turnover, big one.
And that was Bagnall's turn to apply the
swarming defense?
Sure. I was going to say three-quarter floor press, not half court, but working it through. That was Steele again. Kazik's lost a glove as there's all kinds of contact back by the crease, and then Kerr gets drilled and is down.
Oh, I thought he was knocked out, but he got right up. Probably wait for the call, I guess. But now he's a little slow to get up. That was a tough hit. Let's see if we have a replay of that one. Yeah, he's hurt. Like he was down. He was knocked out for a second, but then he got up, and then he tried to get up, but he couldn't. So that's 51. Jonah Kerr. We'll see a replay of that. We were looking at the play behind that with the goaltender there, time his man, but Kerr was in there and then gets one hit and then gets one right underneath the visor, right in the neck. That might be a 5.
That is indeed what the officials have called here, a 5-minute. I didn't see if it was high stick or cross check, but you get the idea.
It's right in the neck region too. That's a tough. You can't be doing that. Speaking of 5s, it's a 5-all tie right now in the game between Peterborough and St. Catharines down at the Canada Games Park. So a barn burner there, and Oakville trying to make this a one-sided affair here with a 5-minute power play, Matt.
Steele working it through accordingly. Back up top. Deflected shot from Luza. Goes high. Kazik out of the crease again as this ball is going to roll back towards center floor area. Mander there. Not only is it a 5-minute penalty against the Beaches, but it's to David Peterkin, who would probably be out there on this penalty kill.
Yeah, he's a good one of the best transition players they have for sure. So yeah, he's up and down the floor, but yeah, a tough break for him. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be the turning point of this game. If they can get a big kill here, kill this off, they'll still have some light. But if they let a couple of goals up and can't score on it, might be lights out for the Beaches.
Can score as many as 2 here on the 5-minute power play. Peterkin will have to serve all 5 minutes, regardless of what happens. Logue and Boone keeping it high so far. Steele back for Logue. Low shot to Kazik, and that ball came out of the crease before it was rebounded and brought back in, so Oakville will retain possession here. That their 40th shot of the game. Another one right down the pike. Kazik sees it and makes the stop on Boone. Outlet pass actually hit the back of the Oakville player Owen Tassay back to get it. He'll rip. And hung on to by Konstantopoulos.
I think if you're Beaches now, you had to take a few chances like that. If you get an opening, take a shot. You never know what could happen because you're down by 4.
Well, I was just about to say, I don't think Riley O'Connor likes that shot. He wanted more time killed off the penalty. He's got a very disappointed look on his face. Steele back through Charlie Boone and Cordingley. Steele has it again. Boone threw everything and into the back of the net.
Bing, bang, Boone. Charlie Boone gets his 3rd goal of the season on the power play and a 5-goal cushion right now for the Buzz, and they still have some time to work with on the power play, and here it is on your screen again. And you see they work the ball around with the pass, and then Boone up high just whiffs one, rips one past Kaisik to make it a 7-2 game on their 42nd shot of the game. So Charlie Boone on the board on the power play for Oakville.
Steele and Luza pick up the assists, both of their 4th points of the game. And as we said, because it's a major power play, Oakville stays on it. Now up 7-2. Up top here is Boone. Finally, the power play clicking here for the Oakville Buzz. Is now another shot more that time. Unable to sneak it in past the post. This the 5th opportunity on the power play for Oakville tonight. Before they're able to pot one. Mander finding Lubinecki coming off the bench. He steers clear of the top of the crease. Lubinecki chased all the way back to the restraining line. Under 10 to shoot. They'll go back to Peyton Booth. He turns and fires and scores.
Just with the doctor order for the Beaches, they needed something to give him a chance to keep the game, and it's Peyton Booth getting his 2nd goal of the night, shorthanded. Again, some great work down low by 88 Lubinecki. He gets the long pass over to Peyton Booth. He eludes the defender, walks in, and puts one through the arm of Konstantopoulos. So a shorty makes it a 7-3 game with 11:09 to go. 2 minutes left on the major penalty against the Beaches.
So a short-handed goal on the side of the Beaches. After it looked like Lubinecki was just trying to run and hide, being chased by 3 different Buzz defenders.
He's had a good night. He's had a goal and 2 assists. He assisted on both goals by Booth, and he had the other goal for Toronto. Lubinecki having a great game tonight. See if he can keep that momentum going here in the last 10:38. Try to get a big comeback.
Broughton back to Booth. He'll go from the outside in on Konstantopoulos. That one late in the shot clock. And Ozog looked like he helped corral that loose ball that ended up in the stick of Foulon. 20 seconds away from the halfway mark of this final regulation time period. Oakville still on the power play for just over a minute. Remember, it was as much as 5 earlier on. Already have 1 goal. Have given up a shorthanded marker as well. Boone did step in the crease, and the ball tipped off a stick and out, I believe. So it stays here with Oakville. Steele to Boone. Wanted to go to Cordingley. He wasn't back in the corner. Boone. Back for Steele. Looking for Cordingley. Head coach Troy Cordingley off the bench, asking for urgency from his power play unit. Ball will roll back in the direction of Mander, who carries it back over his center. Aaron pass bounces right back to the man off the bench, but his wide shot booms off the end boards and goes for an over and back call.
Yeah, I think it's another shot that I see the coaching staff shaking their heads at. Probably they wanted a better quality shot to maybe get on the goalie and get a fresh 30.
Well, I think they're just too early here, Alan. 15 seconds left. Could have killed off the remainder of the penalty, but now Oakville going to get one final shot here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Closing in on 9 minutes left in regulation. Oakville have taken a significant shot advantage as well, 44-38. Steele across. Logue's shot never got through a combination of defenders, including Owen Borden. Bouncer down and through the crease went the Beaches.
And Liam Aston, tough break for him, trying to get something going, get another goal for the Beaches. After that, they killed off the rest of the time on the power play, just allowing the one goal.
Eddie Faraday, Hunter Lubinecki with some shoving on their way off the floor. As the Buzz come in again. Accordingly, all the way outside. Working it through Logue. Flip behind the back by McNeil. And it's going to be brought up to center. Friedman. Bullock. To Tarek. Out to the outside. Booth with a high step. Peyton Booth turns it back. Looking off Broughton. Booth will throw the screen there for Lubinecki. The shot hung on the pad by Konstantopoulos, who has been fantastic here this evening. That's save number 36.
Yeah, he's been great so far. I mean, he gave him a chance in the game against Peterborough Monday night with 54 saves, 36 so far tonight, and probably the main reason why they have a lead and trying to bring it home here in the last 7:45.
Out to Steele. He'll work his way all the way back up to the top, and then shot just skimmed over top of the crossbar. Wojnarski finds man up top, taking a chop. There was Peterkin. Feeding it down to the crease, a hard shot and a goal from Owen Vivian. First round pick of this Beaches team.
They needed that in a big way. Make it a 3-goal game, and you can see nice passing there, taking a few hacks and whacks there where the Beaches players left all alone. Was Vivian in tight, and he makes no mistake past Konstantopoulos to make it 7-4. 7:20 remaining, so still lots of time because the defense has been getting better for the Beaches, causing a lot of turnovers. So let's see what they can do here. They have a great team. Oakville are young, upcoming. This is going to be a good test for them, see how resilient they can be, see if they can hang on to this big lead here in the late goings of the third.
Wojnarski and Peterkin pick up assists. We remind you our crew is headed to Peterborough on Friday night. Six Nations Arrows, Peterborough Lakers, an 8 p.m. start time up at the Peterborough Memorial Arena, I believe. No, PMC stands for center.
Center, yes.
The alphabet is hard. Speaking of the Lakers, they're trailing 6-5 down in St. Catharines. The Athletics with a chance to pick up win number 4 and be the first team to reach that mark in the OJLL this season.
Yeah, they look impressive in that comeback overtime win against Brampton after they lost to the Beaches in their first game of the season. So they've been on a roll since that first opening night loss.
Make sure you're subscribed to this OJLL YouTube channel, where all the action will be throughout the season. And follow the OJLL on social media for our upcoming June schedule. To Tarek, in and out of his stick as it came across the top of the crease. Rebound still being argued over late in the shot clock of the Beaches. As it's picked up by Beckett Leipert. Back to the line, Kirchmeier brings it across. Bagnall soon to follow. Kirchmeier again. Now Moore. In through the middle, Boone. Big tie up in front of the crease. The officials got their eye on that as the ball is played back through Moore. Under 10 to shoot. Moore will get it to the far side where the sidearm shot does come from Luza.
Yep. Starting to get a little better as Kazik making these saves, so he's getting a little more comfortable now as the late stages, and he's going to have to be if the Beaches want to come back and maybe force overtime.
Beaches up top with Booth. Through Fines. Back to Bullock here. He wants to go to the crease again to Tarek. Taking flight.
But he stepped in.
You can see his shoes sitting there in the crease along with him as he touched down. Remember, you can dive through if your feet stay clear of the cylinder. Ozog was trying to release and got a stick tapped there by a defender. Back is Lubinecki, rings it off the iron. Beach is asking for a back-in call. This time the officials will oblige. Bagnall picks himself up off the turf. Had a rough and tumble game as number 3 for the Buzz. Lubinecki setting the screen here. As Liam Aston goes over the top. All the way back for Lubinecki. A bit of a toe drag, and Bagnall going to make sure he can't get a shot away. And then Aston looked like that one did beat Constantopoulos, but it wasn't on target.
I think Constantopoulos actually got a piece of that, the side of the leg, and kept it out. So good shot there by Aston. Even better save by Constantopoulos to keep it a 3-goal game. Time becoming an enemy right now for the Beaches.
Jameson Steele. Gonna slow things down with Moore. Big high step from Boone. All the way up top. It's Logue whose shot misses the mark. And now bounces back to center where Peterkin brings it down. He was all alone in the offensive zone. A shot here. What a save, Constantopoulos, as the rebound went right back to Friedman. And his bouncer somehow ended up under the big body of the goaltender.
Yeah, doing the snow angel there to make sure that didn't go in, because you don't want it to happen like it did to Kozik early in the game, where it bounces off and goes in the back of the net. Great job there by the Oakville netminder.
Accordingly had trouble at center, and that ball goes over and back, and a fresh 30 for the Beaches, who have 4 minutes now to close within 3. Outside to Tarek. It's in the 5-hole of Constantopoulos. He's not going to move even though the whistle's gone. Not sure where that ball was at. Morgan can see pressure from the Beaches every time the Buzz cross center now. They'll set up with Luzza backing his way into the corner. Moore, late in the shot clock, gets it back, and his offering on Kazik is sent back out for transition. Aaron Eberhard. Whistles everywhere. For a second I thought that was from the other pad, but it was ours. It's Simon D'Souza signaling the final timeout for the Beaches.
Yeah, they're going to have to work over something here. They're within 3, but they know the time is their enemy right now. They got to work the clock. They got to get shots off. The defense has been better. The goaltending has been better here in the late stage of the third. And see some action here in the last. This is the power play. I believe this is the goal that they got on it. Yeah, there was that nice shot there by Charlie Boone. He beat Kazik there, and got a couple other goals here from the Beaches that have made this interesting here in the late stages. It's a nice work here by Peyton Booth, putting it through the arm of Constantopoulos. That was the shorthanded goal. The other goal was the power play goal in that 5-minute major. You see again some nice hard work by the Beaches. And they left all alone down low was Owen Vivian. He puts one by Constantopoulos, and that's where we sit right now. 7-4. Those are your goals from the third period. 7-4 Oakville leads. 3:19 to go in the third. Beaches trying to draw up a big comeback, maybe send us to overtime. But Constantopoulos has been on top of his game here so far. It's going to be tough, I think, to get 3 goals by him. So look at the nice wide shot of the track. Great video work and audio work tonight from our crew from JVI Video. Bringing the sights and sounds here from the track. Trying to make our voices sound good, Matt.
That's tough work. Anyways. Shout out some legendary equipment managers in the building, by the way. Legendary Johnny Zamboni, Johnny Gutenberg of the Beaches, as well as the Junior Canadians of Destination Unknown, and of course Teddy Cordingley in attendance tonight. Fresh off winning the NLL championship with the Bandits. Now has 4 rings. Bouncer out of the stick of Tatarek, ended up back in the crease. It's a bit of a shoving match between Foulon and Bullock. Foulon ended up taken down as this is going to be a clean breakaway back in on Kazik, who bails out his defense with Luzza right on the doorstep.
Yeah, big shot, big save, and now he goes to the bench for the extra attackers. They got to do something now here late in the game.
Bullock, bit of a late last man change with Aston up top. It's Lubinecki, the last one out there, and the shot does come from Aston. Rebound back towards center, just tipped back in, and onto it is Thomas Bagnall into the empty net, and he scores.
That'll seal the deal for the Buzz. What a big win for this young squad. Probably on paper going into this game, we thought it might be the other way around, but you know what? That's why they play the games on the floor, Matt. You never know what could happen, and kudos for a full 60-minute after almost 60 minutes for the Buzz, and they'll seal the deal here with an empty net goal by Thomas Bagnall off a wide shot that hit the backboards and bounces up. And you can see here in the replay, misplay by the Beaches, and then picked up by Bagnall. He turns on the Jets and puts it into the yawning cage to give the Buzz a win. They might not be done, Matt.
Leipert wins the face-off. A nice little pirouette move to keep it alive. That makes it 8-4. And Bagnall, we said it, one of the hardest working guys. It's been a rough and tumble game for him, but awarded with the breakaway empty net goal here for the Buzz. I don't think there's a probably about it. We even talked to Troy Cordingley about what could be a mismatch. A team that's in retool mode, almost full out in the Oakville Buzz, and a team that has their eyes on not just an Ontario championship, but a national one pretty much every season since 2022 in the Beaches, and not the way anybody saw this one going, with an 8-4 lead for the Buzz with only a minute and a half left.
But not much time for the Beaches to lick their wounds. They're right back in action tomorrow night, home at the Ted Reeve Arena against the Brampton Excelsiors, so they just got to probably put us on the back burner and get ready for another game in less than 24 hours. But if as for Oakville, we talked accordingly. He said hard work. It's all he wanted to do, work hard. You never know what could happen, and they're proving it here tonight. Great goaltending and some swarming defense, and that's why you play the game.
And the Excelsiors playing some good lacrosse as well on the heels of two pretty good goaltenders. We saw the young Montreal goaltender Sedilot on Sunday night, played in a very good game. And Marcus Medill, the goaltender that went in the three-way trade to Brampton.
I think the only thing the Excelsiors need is to play, as we said about the Buzz need to do here tonight, they just need to play a full 60. They've had some good spurts and gains. They just haven't put together a full 60, and have lost a couple of heartbreakers against Orangeville on Sunday, and a couple weeks back against St. Catharines, that overtime loss. They're making strides, but you got to play a full 60. Let's see what they can bring tomorrow night on the road in Toronto against the Beaches.
Beaches will set up. They're going to play this one right through to the horn, though, as it's up for Bullock. His bouncer. There were players going back and forth every which way in front of that shot. And then, speaking of a shot, Beaches player getting up after taking one down on the floor, Lubinecki. One final penalty here with 12 seconds on the board. It'll be the third power play of the game for the Beaches. That's not it right there. You can't hit a player who's down on the ground, and that is definitely a grounded opponent that Foulon jumped on top of.
See if they get maybe one goal here for some pride. And here they go.
And they do. Quick stick down to Ryan Bullock. 7 seconds into the power play.
So at least
and perhaps more than pride, you would expect, again, Willem Firth's going to come back. Hamish McPherson.
Yeah, so you see some good work down low to Bullock, and he fires one by Kotsopoulos. A little bit of a pride goal there, but it's just something they can build on maybe for tomorrow night. They had a pretty good third. They had some good defenses. Couldn't nick those goals, but Kotsopoulos, maybe something to build on for tomorrow night against Brampton.
Well, again, we expect this Toronto Beaches team to get better. We expect Thomas Kazik to settle back in. The next matchup against the Oakville Buzz is going to be a big one. That's why that goal differential in the late goal may come into play here, but Oakville Buzz care not about all of that. They have taken down one of what could be the top teams in the OJLL this summer. And coming into the night, I don't think Oakville was part of that conversation at all, but they do pick up the 8-5 victory.
I think the big key of this game, Matt, was Zach Kotsopoulos. 47 saves. He had 54 against Peterborough on Monday night in the loss. He gets 47 here tonight, and he made some great saves. He made sure the ball didn't get by him. He wasn't unsure of himself. He did let a lot of rebounds up, held on the ball a lot. Big reason why they win, and you got to give this upstart Buzz team a lot of credit as they even the record to 1-1 on the season, and the Beaches fall to 2-2.
Kind of shocking there as well. Update from St. Catharines. Peterborough St. Catharines tied at 7 with just over a minute left in regulation time. If you download the OJLL app, that one you can get live up-to-the-minute updates on that game. All the scores and schedules throughout the season, standings and stats are there as well. On that schedule includes tomorrow's games which are the Beaches, Burlington Blaze in Whitby, Brampton Excelsiors at the Toronto Beaches, a 7:30 start time in Whitby, 8 o'clock in the Beaches. Our crew will be in Peterborough Friday, Six Nations Arrows, Peterborough Lakers at 8 o'clock. Burlington will be in KW for a 7:30 matchup on Friday as well. Final here, the Oakville Buzz 8-5 over the Toronto Beaches. On behalf of my partner Alan Corkum, our producer Gary Morrison, director Rachel Wolf, the JVI Sports Network, and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. My name's Matthew Carrick saying good night from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Enjoy your day tomorrow. We'll talk to you again on Friday.